I'm about to put my opinion out there because there are some trends that have gone viral both in makeup and skincare, and I want to give you guys my opinion on them. Hi everyone, welcome back to Sheri Proof. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new, welcome, and if you're already a part of the family, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. It really helps reach people for whom this content might be helpful, and I'm thanking you in advance for your help to do that. So over the last few months, year or so, there have been so many trends that have gone viral in the beauty space, whether it be skincare or makeup. I have taken note of a couple of them. Sometimes I do try these trends as well. So I do have some opinions on some of them that I wanted to point out to you guys. So, come a little closer. We're going to chat today. The first one has to do with the 3-step skincare routines. Now, I completely understand that this came off of the whole theme of skin minimalism and people wanting to reduce their skincare routines and make it much easier and, take all the hard work out of it. And that is great for a lot of people. That's not for me. And this is the thing, all of these trends, there might be some things that might be applicable to you and some things that may not be applicable for you. Now, when we talk about the 3-step routine, we're really talking about cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. Who is this for? Beginners. Honestly, I always say this. If you're doing just those 3 steps, you are doing the most. This is for people who really just want to take overall good health of their skin, not really dealing with any kinds of issues, or maybe on those moments when you're rushing out the door and you can't do your whole routine, just getting these 3 steps in is going to be enough. But for me, knowing my skin issues to maintain my skin, I have oily acne prone skin. The 3 steps is not enough. I need actives. And that's that. The thing about it is the 3-step or the 10-step or the 7-step or the 5-step or the 12-step or the million steps that you do in your routine has all to do with you. It is very, very personal. It's not that one is wrong or one is right. It's really about your own skin and what's right for you. So if what you're doing is good for you, great. If you think that you need to scale down in your skincare routine, great. If you think that you want to expand it, great. Just do you. I think what was getting to me with this particular trend is that there was this kind of concept that people who do longer than 3-step routines, like you're doing something wrong. And that's not necessarily the case. And vice versa, there are a lot of people who do 10-step routines, and sometimes I think it could make the people that are doing like a 3-step or very basic routine feel like they're doing something wrong. Again, it's not that. You really just need to do what is best for you. So jumping over to makeup, the colored liner is completely in. I guess it's because it's spring going into summer in a lot of countries and people just want to get color in their makeup routine in different ways, and colored liner is always a lovely way to do that. I'm completely here for it. Now, you could actually just go and buy different colored liners to just be on trend with this, or you can do the hack that has been going around where you actually use your eyeshadows, basically any powder, eyeshadow, blush, product, whatever color you want, and you pair that with micellar water to create whatever color winged liner you want. Does it work? Absolutely yes. So let me show you how it works. I've actually been doing this quite a lot, especially on days when I don't really want to do eyeshadow, but I still want to do something on my eyes. I just do like a colored liner, put on mascara, and that's my complete eye look. So I just have here a blush palette. Like you could just grab any palette. I'm going to use this last shade here. I have a micellar water, whichever one you have on hand, and I have a brush. And I'm just going to show you that this brush has nothing on it right now. So this is the idea. What you do is, I'm just going to, let's hope that I don't make a mess here. So what you do is you wet the brush with the micellar water, then you dip it in whatever color you want, right? So that's what I did, and then watch this. Right now, I angled the brush really bad there, so. And you could see I'm just making multiple lines. Now, this is not the best brush. I just took up any brush there. But you could literally do this with your lovely stiff brush that you love to do your wing liner with. And you could use any powdered shadow, any powdered blush, whatever color you want. That's the color that you choose. And pairing with micellar water, it is literally going to create a pigment in liquid form that you could apply on your eyes. So I have been doing this. And then one day it hit me. If when this micellar water dries, it's holding that pigment on my eyes and it is pretty long wearing. For those of you who still use micellar water only to cleanse your face and your skin is dirty, you put micellar water on a cotton pad and you pass that all over your face and you do not rinse, and that residue that remains on your face dries. Could you imagine how much dirt, grime, sebum, bacteria is drying back on your skin because you did not rinse? This is on my hand. And if micellar water could do this when it dries, things are definitely remaining on your face when you do not rinse after using micellar water. Now, can you just use micellar water for emergency purposes to cleanse your skin and so on? Absolutely you can, but make sure at some point you get to rinse that out. This should not be the norm. This should not be the way you cleanse your skin. Micellar water could actually work as the first step of a double cleanse, but definitely go in with your water-based cleanser after that. Especially if you're removing makeup, grime, dirt, SPF, etc. that build up over the course of the day, you need to rinse that. The next viral thing in makeup has to do with using blush with your under eye concealer. And I saw people doing this and I was like, I took a while before I tried it. But guys, since I have tried it, I have literally been doing it all the time. I actually do have blush with my concealer under my eyes today. And there is just something about it. It is absolutely subtle, but when you blend that out and you look at your face, there is something that's just so youthful. It's almost as though it helps the area come alive. The person that actually started this trend said that would be a good way to actually cover your dark circles and conceal all in one step, and I could definitely get that based on the color of the blush that you actually use to do this technique. But it also lifts the face. One of the things I love about it as well, it is great for the no makeup look, like an everyday kind of thing. So that if you're not going to do like a whole full glam face of makeup, just doing that little extra step just brings some life and some color back into the face. Oh, I have been absolutely enjoying this particular makeup trend. So the one that I've actually been using is by M Cosmetics in the shade Venetian Rose, and this is their Color Drops Serum Blush. This is what it looks like, and I am actually really upset that I didn't pick up some more liquid blushes in my Sephora sale haul, because now I really want to experiment with other shades doing this trend. And this one is a kind of deep rosy shade. Let me see if I can get out some of the product here to show you. So this is what it looks like, and I actually love how this blends out, because on my skin as a blush, you could see like it blends out really nicely, but I love what it does to the under eye area. And what I do is I will just put a little bit, 2 little dabs right here, one here. I put my regular concealer on top, and then I just blend everything together with a sponge or a brush. That's it. I did do it today, and I mean, if you're looking at me head on, you can't really tell that I have like something pink underneath my eyes. It just does something to the whole look of the under eye area, and I've really been loving it. If you have not tried it, try it. All right, so jumping back to skincare. The next trend kind of happened. I mean, it was nothing new. It was going on all the time, but it just kind of came back to the fore a year ago when Jada Pinkett posted her at-home facial skincare routine. And I think like every dermatologist, every properly trained esthetician, a person that knows about skincare, literally held their head and screamed when they saw what happened in that video, because Jada, who has excellent genes, has fabulous skin, literally steamed her face 3,567 times in that one video to do her at-home facial. And that, my dear friends, is an absolute no-no. Now, let's just talk about this whole steaming thing for a second. So, Jada was saying that she is steaming to open her pores. Newsflash, if you don't know this already, but pores don't open and close. Shall I repeat that for those in the back? Pores do not open and close. Pores do not have muscles. What happens is that our pores can look enlarged, they can become filled, and what steaming does, and why your esthetician will probably do a steam when you go for a professional facial, is because it will actually soften the sebum and the dirt and so on that's within the pore and allow it to be more easily extracted. And you will notice that your esthetician, after they've done the steam and they've done the extractions, they will usually go in with a lot of hydrating products and moisturizer and so on, and there is a reason for that. You will also notice that if you have more inflammatory skin conditions, that your esthetician may completely skip the step, because that steam can aggravate those types of skin conditions. Steaming actually also dehydrates the skin, so it is a very bad idea if you already have dehydrated or dry skin to be steaming very regularly. And if you are going for professional facials, you will probably be getting this steam once a month, once every 4 to 6 weeks, which is completely fine. Jada did it multiple times within the space of an hour when she was doing this routine at home. That is a recipe for disaster. Something to keep in mind as well, that if you are actually fighting hyperpigmentation and melasma, those things are actually triggered and made worse by exposure to heat. So if you're doing steams at home once a week, a couple times a week, and you have these conditions, you could actually be making it worse. No. I need us to stop this. Let's just stop it, people. Leave it to the professionals. And if you are going to do this home, once in a blue moon. I have a face steamer, and if I use that twice a year, that's a lot. So this next trend literally gives me a headache, and it upsets me so much. You see this thing where people are applying their products in their skincare routine, and they open the bottle of serum and they take the dropper and they put it on their face to release the product. Oh my goodness. If you are following these types of skincare influencers and listening to them for advice, no. I'm going to tell you that they might like themselves, but they don't like you, and they definitely don't like your skin, especially if this is what they're encouraging and constantly showing in their videos. What I just don't get is not everything that looks aesthetic on camera needs to be done and needs to be promoted. When people look at influencers do these types of things, they will literally go and repeat it at home, and they can be causing more harm than good to their skin. Your dropper in your serum was designed to pull the product out of the bottle and dispense into your hands for application on your face. It was not designed to be touching your face. If there's any type of bacteria at all on your face, when that dropper touches your face and you put it back in your bottle, you are transferring that bacteria into your whole bottle of product. Now, how much sense does that make? Because now you've contaminated your product. Now, granted, properly formulated skincare products will have certain ingredients to account for a certain amount of possible contamination so that the whole product does not go bad. Notice I said properly formulated skincare products, because there are people who are mixing up things at home thinking they're making skincare products, putting it on the shelf for other people to buy. They have no training, no knowledge, no idea about these types of issues like bacterial contamination in products, so there's absolutely nothing in there to protect you in case something like this happens. But in properly formulated products, there is a particular level of expectation that we could deal with a certain amount of contamination that happens, but not this thing with putting the drop on your face and putting it back in the bottle every single day. You are going to mess up your product and mess up your skin. In other words, could we just do things the right and proper way, not just because it looks nice and glamorous means that that's the right thing to do. And finally, the last trend that I want to express myself about in this video is with regards to slugging. And slugging just recently regained popularity over the last year or so, but it is actually something that has been going on for a long time and something that is actually recommended by doctors to do, especially if you have very dry skin. The whole concept of slugging is using a petroleum-based product. Most times it was simply Vaseline, things like Aquaphor and so on, and putting a thin layer, a thin film of this Vaseline all over the face after you've cleansed and all of that to seal in the moisture. So the idea is that you want to trap the water in the skin and prevent moisture loss. This actually works really, really well. And if you have very dehydrated or dry skin, it's a really good way to help your skin just get back that moisture level really, really quickly. Now, a couple of things was happening with this particular slugging trend. People literally dip in their fingers into the whole tub of Vaseline and put in half of the tub all over their face. That's not the way to do it. It's not necessary. You literally just need to coat the face with a thin film on it. Yes, if you're going to do it with things like Vaseline and Aquaphor, it could be a little tricky because if you're going to go to sleep right after, your pillow and so on could get a little bit messed up. But literally, it's not going to be the way that you might imagine compared to if you had used the amount of product that you've seen a lot of people using on social media. The other thing when it comes to slugging is that slugging is not necessarily a technique that I would use on me. I have oily, acne-prone skin, and slugging with Vaseline may not be the best thing for my skin. I use actives almost every single night, whether it's my acids or retinol. And when you use those types of products under a barrier like Vaseline or a petrolatum based product, you are also trapping whatever is underneath that product into the skin, which is going to increase the penetration and increase the risk or the potential for irritation. And you definitely don't want that. So in other words, if you do intend to slug, make sure you put all the hydrating ingredients under there. Don't put these types of actives under that particular occlusive film that you're using. Keep in mind as well that if you're going to do slugging, you need to do it on clean skin, because any bacteria that's under there is going to be trapped and just has a beautiful playing field to do whatever it has to do. And finally, the thing about slugging is this: you don't necessarily need to slug with Vaseline. Yes, historically that is what was used, but all you really need to do is use a moisturizer with occlusive ingredients or ingredients with occlusive properties. So things like ceramides and shea butter and certain types of oils that are found in certain moisturizers will help you create that particular barrier to prevent that water loss and not be as thick or as heavy on the skin. So it could actually just be a heavier moisturizer that you already have, and you are able to create the same effect. Whew, I am sweating under these lights today. We've come to the end of today's video. Have you jumped on any of these trends? Have you tried them? Which ones do you like? I would love to hear it in the comments down below. And if you do like these types of videos, definitely leave a thumbs up on this video, share it with your friends. I'll see you guys in another video soon. Take care. Bye.